This is the video Understanding 3. In this video we'll continue our exploration of the history and geography of Japan and then take a look at some of the themes that come up in episode 3 of the drama. Geographically, Japan is divided up into different regions and administratively into different prefectures. In this module we'll take a look at the Kanto region, especially Tokyo and Kanagawa prefectures. This map shows the prefectures in the Kanto region. The Tone River divides the Kanto area into northern and southern areas. The three northern prefectures are Gunma Ken, Tochigi Ken, and Ibaraki Ken. The four southern prefectures are Tokyo To, Saitama Ken, Chiba Ken, and Kanagawa Ken. These four prefectures are known as the Tokyo Metropolitan Region, or Greater Tokyo. Japan is divided up into prefectures, but these are in turn divided up into cities, towns and villages. Large cities are divided up into wards. These administrative units are important because they provide the daily services that people use. In this map of Tokyo Prefecture, you can see the 23 wards of central Tokyo in purple in the east, and to the west there are a large number of cities in maroon. The area in brown shows the location of towns. There are also many suburbs of Tokyo in Saitama, Kanagawa and Chiba prefectures. The map shows the 23 wards in central Tokyo. Learning these wards will help you orient yourself in Tokyo. You've already learnt the kanji for some of them, and in this module you'll learn more. So Edogawa-ku, Koto-ku, Taito-ku, Bunkyo-ku, Chiyoda-ku, Chuo-ku, Minato-ku, Shinagawa-ku, Ota-ku. To understand present-day Tokyo, one must go back to the Edo period to see how the city developed. We saw in the last module how the Kinki region was the center of political power in ancient and medieval Japan. In the early modern period, political power shifted to the Kanto region. In the Azuchi Momoyama period, Japan was reunified by three great samurai lords, Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Ieyasu established his headquarters in the town of Edo, although Kyoto remained the official capital. The Edo, or Tokugawa period, lasted from 1600 to 1868. In 1868, the Tokugawa were overthrown in the Meiji Restoration. The emperor was moved from Kyoto to Edo and the city renamed Tokyo, which means Eastern Capital. This is regarded as the beginning of modern Japanese history. When Tokugawa Ieyasu first occupied Edo in the 1590s, it was a tiny fishing village. After he established control over the whole of Japan, he built a huge castle called Edo-jo. Samurai lords lived in the higher part of the city near the castle called Yamanote. Ordinary people lived in the low-lying area near the Sumida River called Shitamachi. In the Edo period, the city was oriented towards the sea, with castle moats being linked to canals that led to the sea. There were many bridges in Edo. Many scenes of Edo are preserved in woodblock prints. After the Meiji Restoration of 1868, Edo Castle became the home of the imperial family and was renamed Kokyo, which means Imperial Palace. As Japan industrialized, many of the moats and canals were filled in and factories were built along the banks of the Sumida River. A lot of land was also reclaimed along the coast of Tokyo Bay for industrial purposes. The Shitamachi area stayed working class, but it lost much of its old-time feeling. Tokyo residents also lost the connection with the sea. Despite this, people still talk about Shitamachi culture. The map shows the relationship between Shitamachi and the present wards. If you go to Sensoji Temple in Asakusa, you can get a feeling for old Edo, although now it is mostly just put on for tourists. A highly idealized view of Shitamachi people is often portrayed in movies. They are shown as being rough on the outside, but having hearts of gold. We can see this in episode 3 of our drama, which is about Yakuza. In movies, Yakuza are often portrayed in a romantic way, but in reality they are just criminals. Although there has been a police crackdown in recent years, Yakuza gangs still operate in the open with their own corporate logos and office buildings. The name Yakuza comes from a card game in which 8, 9 and 3, Ya, Ku and Sa, is the worst possible hand. The Yakuza are closely associated with the Shitamachi area of Tokyo and often portray themselves as the upholders of Edo traditions. For example, the Sanja festival in Asakusa always has a heavy Yakuza presence. Japan, and especially Tokyo, have undergone very rapid social change in the last 100 years. This often makes people feel nostalgic for the past, or at least nostalgic for an imaginary past. In this imaginary past, life was slower and people were nicer to each other. This imagined past is often associated with particular places like Shitamachi. At the end of the episode, you can see Haruko and Maria walking along by the Sumida River, which invokes the images of Shitamachi. This part of Tokyo, however, is being rapidly redeveloped. One big development was Tokyo Skytree, which was under construction when the drama was being made, but which is now complete. There are a whole series of projects being undertaken along the Sumida or on reclaimed land in the bay aimed at reconnecting Tokyo with its waterfront. These include the Ariake and Aomi areas in Koto Ward and Odaiba in Minato Ward. Many venues for the 2020 Olympics will be located in this bay zone. The venues in the Heritage Zone were those built for the 1964 Olympics. Now let's head south of Tokyo and take a quick look at Kanagawa Prefecture. The biggest cities in Kanagawa are Yokohama and Kawasaki. Another place of particular interest is Kamakura. This was the headquarters for the first samurai government, which lasted from 1185 until 1336. This is called the Kamakura period. There are lots of old temples in Kamakura, so it is a popular tourist destination. Kamakura is surrounded on three sides by low hills, which was one of the reasons the Minamoto chose it for their headquarters. The Kamakura government, however, did not last long because it was torn by internal divisions. Also in the 13th century, the Mongols invaded Japan twice, and even though they were defeated, this weakened the Kamakura government. After it was overthrown, Kamakura returned to being a quiet area. This is one reason why so many old temples and shrines have survived to the present day. The most famous attraction in Kamakura is the Big Buddha on the grounds of Kotokuen Temple. Nearby is Hasedera, where there are many Jizo statues dedicated to the souls of deceased children. Another popular spot is the Tsurugaoka Hachimangu Shrine. Hokokuji Temple is famous for its bamboo garden.